I gotta let these things charge up. Continuation of the log. It's 2:16 in the morning. It is the 29th of December, 2022. Well, some things I'm living at nearly the last second of the last year, last day of the year that I can actually get things done. And it's pissing me off that I just screwed myself over again. I'm going to be dealing with a month basis disability. I don't know how long it's going to last. If it'll last for the rest of my life, fine, but if it doesn't, well then, I guess I'm screwed. I'm going to be turning 57 next year. And I'll tell you one thing that a long time ago that I don't know if it's still going to be useful information or not. At this day and age, I should have been more and more productive, you know. I should have been just busting my ass left and right. Unfortunately, my body has been deteriorating. There's only so much a body can take for physical and mental health before it starts saying that you're a cripple. You're going to be dealing with that for the rest of your life. And I have to. I'm dealing with that, and I'm not liking it. Sorry about the sound quality, though. No one like anybody else. But I got to get these damn things charged. I'm just not comfortable with what's going on these days. I'm really not. It scares me. It's scaring me of what the things I have to do and the things I can't do. Things I should have been doing, like busting my ass on some things. And I haven't. Things I should have done. And I haven't done anything for myself. $57. Which means I've got about 3 more years, or 2 years and some odd days, before I turn 60. My brother was freaking out a little bit when he turned 50 years old, because he was told by, and he figured it out, but he was still told that the males of the Cameron line are usually kicking off about after the age of 60. Either to reach it or they don't reach it, but somehow they kick off. Or as some people like to say, take the final path. Well, one way or another, they kick off. Either do it voluntarily or else nature does it for them. I like to see if that's true or not. I mean, I definitely like to see the family Bible before I kick off, so I could verify the panic attack at this point over here. Give me a second. Sorry, just been watching the show West Wing. I was trying to talk about that in a previous video. So here it is. 2022. It's not going to end very well. It just is. So I still have to deal with it. And you know, that's it. New Year's coming up. And I know I said I was stressing about the age situation. That's what scared the hell out of my brother a while ago. I think I talked about the story before, but it's nice to talk about it again. He's turned 49, and somewhere in the time zone, either by research or by talking to people in the family, that there was a conclusion given to him that the male adults, the elders, were dying off after the age of 60. Didn't even live past 61 or 62. And in trying to remember that there's been about 2 or 3 of them like it, that it may have set a pattern that scared the hell out of my brother a great deal. Of which has got me concerned a little bit. That's why I'm not trying to take things as for granted as much, but I'm not trying to go crazy over it either. I figure if my body's going to be deteriorating at a fast deteriorating rate between 48 to 60, and I'm fine. But if not, well, then. I still plan on graduating. Maybe there's going to be a book to be published, and that's about it. But if one or two are actually done, then what's next? If within the year of 23 I graduate, then what? Do I look forward to 2 or 3 years of panic, or do I look for something else to go for? If I had the money for it, or win the lottery, it'd be a miracle from God. Of course, I got to participate in the situation. You know, you guys still got to put the action into it. But even if I happen to want a little bit of money, you know, maybe like 10,000. Or 20,000 or 50,000. I mean, my head could go crazy at that point. But still, what would I have liked to have done? Or maybe, you know, I don't know. Travel, I guess. Places that don't have cockroaches. Or to places that don't have cockroaches. I don't know. Find another apartment. Well, depending on how much money I'll be getting for the rest of my life. And then again, that screws over my disability right there, because then I'll be dependent upon my winnings. And they have to stretch those things out. Finding bank accounts and put the money in there if I actually win something. I have to think about that one. Get back to you. Anyway. Well, I know the trip back to Disneyland. Spent about a week in a hotel. Hopefully somewhere also takes care of my dog. Hopefully she'll last long. I hope so. Because it'll be a miserable experience if I happen to miss her. If she happens to pass. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen. So, what else? Cruise ship, again. A few places I like to travel. Alaska is still one of them before it melts off. Hawaii, that'd be something. And what else? Well, with all the changes happening in the Walt Disney Company at this point over here, I don't know, you think a Disney cruise ship would be better? And everything else, again, is like eating up the money left and right. Keep feeding the beast of the cruise line. I don't know, I still like to try it anyway. The two places, Alaska and Hawaii. The only two places that matter to me, I guess. Maybe live in Alaska, but I'm not quite sure about it. Hawaii, getting expensive and also getting resource poor. What do you say about that one? Would I like to travel? To take a train trip. Never took a train trip. I mean, it's one thing taking the commuter line from Antelope Valley all the way down to Union Station. That's one thing. I'm talking about cross country. You see American, you get dazzled by it. I got in a couple of cross country places like that, and I fell asleep. My brother, when he was alive and he was truck driving, or just driving, he liked watching the scenery. He really did. It was important to him. But I also had to watch the scenery because I had to be his navigator. I had to keep mental notes in my head where the hell we were going. And also keep mapping with an old-fashioned paper map. All that stuff. Anyway. My brother loved to drive. He loved watching the areas. And me? I never liked driving. Okay, so addressing my fear of, or is it dreaded anticipation, or am I actually scared of the damn thing? Because I could tell you that a long time ago, I was scared, terrified of death. Being dead once before as a kid, or actually 3 times, is not exactly fun, especially when you had open heart surgery. You know, I kept talking about it, but that's the only way I could get to it. It may be the most profound experience a soul can ever go through is going back home. And for the mortal body and a mortal brain to remember it, it just fades, actually. Maybe the information's still locked in my squishy brain, maybe it is. But I know it left me with a lot of doubt, a lot of questions, and unknowns that actually probably did generate the fear. Since then, I have not been chasing death. I didn't want it either. But there had been a few close calls in my life that I could have been dead. It wasn't. It's got me more concerned these days. So now, I'm just trying to struggle with what is. And right now, it's still got me scared as hell. I don't know how to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I know my brother had freaked out when he turned 50. He was a recovering alcoholic. And there was a group meeting he went to all the time. And he expressed a lot of concern and a lot of fear to one of the guys. My brother was on the edge the day before his birthday, so we're going over to the meeting hall. He didn't want to get out of the car. He was planning on killing himself. He was so damn angry and terse with me, even on in person and on text. Just Ma didn't know what the hell was going on. I figured the meeting would help him out. In a way, it did eventually, but just at the meeting's break, that's when one of my brother's friends came out, a sponsor, if you will, and Dave usually doesn't get an official one, but some of these old-timers become de facto sponsors, especially when they have more information than anybody else does and more time in the program. And my brother trusted him. And one of them was trying to tell my brother to knock his ass off and get in the meeting and talk about it. So for the rest of the meeting, my brother was talking about his fears and phobias regarding the situation, which got me thinking during that time. I mean, I was only 8 years younger than him, so I was 42 at the time. And that's got to start thinking about age 60, and that's going to start turning up a hell of a lot of anxiety. I really didn't want to deal with that one. I really didn't. My brother was angry. He was terrified. He didn't want to die. I guess maybe somewhere in there, he was trying to feel that he wanted to be. He wanted to live. He was terrified of it entirely. So, just give me 1 second. Yeah, well, I got bugs. Anyway. It terrified him a great deal. There may have been a few times that I didn't realize that he was also experienced near death. Except hours or years later. And that's what scared the living crap out of him. It would have scared the living crap out of me too. It literally would. And since I've been through it 4 years old, I still had a lifelong fear of it. And I've been through a few times of near misses or near death. Almost, but not quite. Still alive. No body rate, no soul rising, just almost, but not quite. Still just scares the hell out of me sometimes. Going through the emotions back then and the memories, that's what I remember. But as I got older and didn't think of it at the time, really became melancholy about it. And since losing David and Ma, it sometimes becomes harder and harder for me just to look forward to seeing things in life, because I'm missing my family more and more, and it's getting me closer to that point. You know, I talk to people online about what they thought about suicide or about death, how they want to kill themselves. And sometimes I can tell them I can relate to it, but when I had lost my mother and my brother because of death, I tried not to develop the blame that usually happens. People usually blame because they don't want to deal with the coping of it. They don't want to cope with death, and they don't want to cope with the feelings of it. They hate losing loved ones. So did I. I still do. People that I actually care about, I don't want to hear passage. And yet I'll see a fictional piece online concerning a bad passage. Even though it's a fictional story, television, movies, doesn't matter. Once I get the trigger in there, it just gets to me. But I was talking about, and I know I'm bouncing from one thing to another thing. Dave actually talked to his friend in that meeting, and he shared. And when I heard about it, it's like, okay, now it's got me concerned. But he was a little bit more, not at ease, but calmer about it. He was still a little bit tense about it. But not freaking out or thinking about death. Figured it was going to get him anyway, eventually. Anyway, he had a near misses. And one of them was dealing with a heart attack he had at college. And while he's in the ambulance, going to the hospital, there was somebody telling him that he really didn't need to. He didn't need to worry as much thing as he should have. But there was the voice of my mother telling him to, you're going to be fine, Dave. going to be fine. I can't say that for myself, though. At least I'm trying to anyway. Not trying to freak out as much, but it's still there. And I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time dealing with what's going on these days. But I'm trying to deal and cope the best I can. It's the only thing I can do. Just not the easiest damn thing in the world to deal with, I'll tell you that much. Things are going to happen. And you have to find ways of coping and dealing with it. Don't like it, but you have to. Ma and Dave are gone. That's a hard thing for me to keep understanding. They were here at one time and now they're just memories. Did they ever exist? Records would show that they existed. Hospital records would show they existed. Maybe there's some photographs and audio recordings somewhere that show that they exist. In my memories, they lived. And when it's my turn to go, when it's actually my turn to go, it'll be the same way for me. Exist only in memory, and that's bad. Once it's faded, we were here, we were on the big stage of life, we had our spotlight, we move off, we're memory. Time for the next person to get a spotlight. You don't remember the flashing. You flashed, you were there for a moment, and after that you're gone. Of course, you're probably in the back rows, watching the whole thing, wishing you were back on the stage, back in life again. You did your thing, you lived your life. You showed to the world what you did. Sometimes it wasn't much. Maybe a short thing, maybe a long thing. Yeah, you're going to be enjoying the show. Well, those things are going to be a lot different in the afterlife. And that's the thing that people keep looking forward to, is the afterlife, to thinking that maybe there's things better or maybe worse. I don't know. But if I remember that feeling, maybe it'd still scare the hell out of me. Or maybe give me a comfort. But it would pull me away from this life right now, for what I need to do, for the amount of time I've got left. If I do have a few years left, or maybe even a year, then whatever days I've got left, even if it means I'm not doing anything at all and just trying to enjoy the moment of life, you know, if I happen to sleep through it, and I like sleeping when I get a chance. I mean, 68 hours used to be, and now it's shortening up like crazy. So I feel like maybe I am burning out somehow. But in the daytime, I don't know. I'm still dealing with a bug war. I got school coming up to look forward to. We'll see. And what happens in a few years afterwards? If I'm still around, I'll let you know. Hey, here's the thing. After the age of 60, if I'm still around, I'll let you know. Either way, I'm still going to continue the logs. It's going to be a hell of a lot of vids on there on YouTube that I'll be talking about. Probably reiterating things all over again, or just new stuff. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm heading back to bed. My brain's getting woozy, my body's getting screwed up, and I need to sleep.